I created my own luck. I didn't decide to be lazy and sit around doing nothing and then brag about my wealth. I didn't do that. Everything that I have when I came to Australia, I built it from ground up.
We've sold tens of millions of dollars of property. Did you think we'd get to where we are now?
The key to close a deal. Most people get it wrong. If all you care about is making money, big money doesn't come that way. You are responsible. You are responsible to make impossible become possible. Right?
Johnny, my brother from another mother.
Exactly right. How long have we known each other?
Probably coming out to about 7-8 years, I reckon.
Yeah, when you were underage.
Yeah. I want to take you back to about 7 years ago. We met. I asked you to come over to Taiwan and sell some houses.
Yeah.
And we'd probably only known each other for about 3 weeks. And
If that.
you're like, yeah, okay. And for contents, obviously you know now, but I used a credit card for that trip.
Yeah.
We flew economy. We stayed in an Airbnb.
And I got sick.
And you got sick.
That's another story.
And fast forward to 2024, we've had a crazy journey. We've sold tens of millions of dollars of property. We've now developed tens of millions of dollars of property. Yeah. What did you anticipate on our first trip? Did you think we'd get to where we are now?
Well, to be honest, I'm the kind of person that I work with people I like. A lot of people get this wrong. I shouldn't use the word wrong. I guess just a different mentality. I like to work with people that I genuinely like because then it's long lasting because no one's perfect. If you work with someone, you think they're good at something, but you don't get along with the person. So along the way, there might be sort of selfish reasons where you want to compete or you want to get more profit out of it, then the business partnership wouldn't last. So I like you straight away. And that's why I propose if we want to do business, it's going to be 50-50. If you remember that, I'm a lot older than you, even at that time, because time goes by, I'm still a lot older than you. Right. But I think at the time when you proposed, I get a higher cut out of the business partnership, I said, no, it's got to be 50-50 or let's just not do business at all. So to me, it's more so I believed in you. Whether at the time I think you have the knowledge or the track records equivalent to me or not, that's irrelevant. I just like you, genuinely. And I guess I'm pretty good at judging people. Sure. I mean, 7 years till today, fast forward into 2024, we're still best friends. We're still brothers. Yeah, so I like that.
What do you think is one of the core reasons why we've lasted 7 years? Like, I reckon if we look up the average business partnership, it's probably a lot less than that.
Oh, probably 3 to 5 years, and they split. I think the main reason, in my opinion, well, you can have your opinions on this, but I think because we're very different, that's a good thing. If two people are too similar, they start competing against each other eventually, because we're humans and we're high performers. So any high performers, like athletes, if you're good at something, eventually you want to compete, even like Michael Jordan, when he was at his peak time, prime time, I'm sure he would come across people who want to beat him. But it's all about the teamwork. If you want to build a successful business, you really have to find someone who can sort of tolerate your flaws. Because I know I'm a very, very impatient person. You know that already. I have this quote. If people take it by face value, they think I'm arrogant, which I say all the time. I say I hate dumb people, but I have to deal with dumb people every day. I don't really mean dumb people as in I look down at people who are dumb. I say dumb people basically referring to people who don't do self-reflect, who don't think they're in the wrong, who don't think other people can do things that they cannot. Hence, they don't learn, they don't improve, they don't elevate. But I think the thing that worked flawlessly between us is that we're so different. So you tolerate me, at the same time I tolerate you. We're like any couple, seriously. Like I think we're in a marriage relationship. We fight all the time. We have our differences. We don't think the same, which is good. And then we don't hold grudges. That's the best part. We might have a big fight in the meeting about business, and then we go, bro, let's go have a drink. And then forget about the fight. Yeah.
You've got a really good quote you say all the time. It's the result is all that matters.
Yes.
When I think over the last 7 years, I think that holds really true because we'll always be doing our own thing, whether I'm traveling for poker or you're doing something. It's like as long as we're both focused on what actually matters, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
And I think that's, really held us together over the last 7 years.
I think that's because that was the way I was brought up. So that always says you can say whatever you want to do. You can say I put in 110% effort into something. You can say I work so hard. You can say, I'm the most reliable, down to earth, hardworking person that you can ever find. But what we don't understand in reality is that everyone works hard. Even Michael Jordan works hard. Even Steve Jobs works hard. Everybody works hard. So to me, that's a minimum requirement to get into the game of being successful. So if we just focus on working hard and not actually having the result, then we are the victims of finding excuses. Oh, it's not my fault. I put in 110% effort. I did this, I did that, but nothing happened. Then what? There's only... I came across this Instagram post about this baseball coach for like elementary school kids, like kids between the age of 10 and 12. This coach, I had a goosebump when I was watching it. The coach said, when you go out there on the field, there's only winners and losers. Either you win the game or you lose the game, or might as well don't even play the game. I think in business, we don't need to compete with other businesses, but we need to make sure we win. So if there's no result, don't tell me you spend the last, month, a year doing what you think you're doing. We all work hard, but we gotta work smarter. And then we can do self-reflect and come back to see what have we done wrong and quickly adjust and move forward. That's what most people I see, they fail, is doing self-reflect. They always have excuses saying that it's not my fault. It's the economy. It's not going well. It's my staff. They're not doing what I tell them to do. Well, guess what? If you're the president of a country, doesn't matter who fucked up. You are responsible. You are responsible to make impossible become possible. And that's how I see it. Yeah.
Yeah. People probably don't believe this, but you are older than me.
Yeah, a lot. By a lot. I could be your dad.
You do have a lot of experience even before we got started in business. You've got a very successful family.
Yeah.
If we wind back to those times, you went to a very successful university, to USC.
Yeah.
You got your master's degree, you got your MBA, and then you obviously started running your family business.
Yeah.
Can you touch on some of those moments there and how maybe some of the lessons you learned there and how they affected into our business?
Yep. So just for the record, I'm 46, almost 47. So I'm a lot older than you. You're 27. I have to admit, when I was younger, I've made same, if not more, mistakes compared to a lot of young people nowadays, which is thinking I'm the best. I know everything. I don't want to listen because I got everything figured out. Along the way, I think I've failed myself and I've been ripped off or tricked or scammed over the course of my lifetime for the past 20 plus years. That what I mean is that when you think you're the best, when you think you know everything, without actually knowing everything, without knowing that you are actually the best at what you do, you're not the best at everything, but at what you do, you start having the hype thinking that no one can compete with you. Then reality check comes in, then you fail. And then you come to realization of actually you're not as good as you think. Most people at that stage, they give up or they keep on thinking, no, that's not true. I am the best. But whereas for me, I think throughout all these years working at my dad's company, growing up in LA, I've learned that you can't please everyone. You just have to find your core value and a niche of people that are like-minded, that think the same as you, and then pretty much live in your own bubble. The reality is how you perceive. So get rid of the negativity, the toxic people. That's how you excel and elevate quicker. So if what I have learned for the past years, I've been working at my dad's company or things that I've done before we started the business, I would say I start to understand how I cut down more people that I don't need. And I think that's, at the end of the day, most people don't get it. when you talk about business, it's not just business, it's people. People are the core value who run the business. You don't buy Apple if it wasn't because of Steve Jobs get on the stage and told the world, this is the world's first smartphone. At that time, Motorola, Nokia, Samsung, they were dominating the market. Who had ever heard of smartphone? When Steve Jobs announced that we're gonna come up with this new phone, it's called smartphone. Apple used to be a computer company. If you remember correctly, Apple used to be called Apple, I think Apple Company something, .com, and then they got rid of the name company and then just Apple. So no one believed a computer company can make phones. Even Motorola company or Nokia company, they didn't believe it. But guess where he took the company to? It's the people that's running the business that make the business valuable. A lot of people get it all wrong. They get it reversed. I build a good company, then people will come. No, you are the person that is the company. When people trust you, you build a company that's long lasting. Yeah.
You already obtained financial independence back then. You've already got a wealthy family. What motivated you to keep working and start a whole new business?
That's a good question, but I don't want to offend people because I can tell the truth. I can be very, very honest about this, which will offend some people, or I can be more reserved and just tell.
Be you. Let it all out.
All right. So this comes back to a cultural differences between the East and West. So I was born in Taiwan and raised in LA. I grew up in LA since I was 12 years old. So I've learned the culture of East, which was Taiwan, and West, which was LA, very well. I lived in LA, grew up there since I was 12 years old till I was 30. Then I went back to Taiwan. That's another story I can share later. But I understand how East people think versus Western people think very well, very well. So the problem with Eastern people is that parents take care of their kids until the kids die. Well, a bit dramatic. What I'm trying to say is Asian people take care of their kids and to a point where they're too protective. As long as you listen to me, you don't have to do anything. I provide the wealth, I provide, comfort, I protect you. But that's where, when I was 12 years old, I learned it from the Western culture in LA that no, you need to let kids go so they grow, so they can make something happen. And when that person makes something happen, that's internal happiness. And to be honest, I don't have to work. That's just honest truth. But I have to listen to my parents all the time. I have to do what they want me to do. But this is my life. So I want to make sure that I can accomplish something, not for anyone else, not for my parents, not to impress people, but I want to make sure that this life that we call life, I always refer life as a game because we only live once. So might as well live the best out of it. And if I can achieve something at the time when I'm about to die, lying on my dying bed, thinking back, because no matter what you have accomplished or not, we're all gonna die one day. So it's all the memories that's left. So I wanna make sure that when the time comes, when I'm about to die, that 10 seconds or 50 seconds when I think back of what I have done in this life, what I have accomplished, do I have a legacy that I can live on? So if I die, people remember John Lee.
Yeah.
And that's another reason I got involved in, this movie that I'm producing. Well, I'm an investor and executive producer of this movie. That's another story I can share later.
We'll touch on that later for sure.
Everything I do in life, I want to make sure that I don't just rely on parents, which in Asian culture, a lot of kids nowadays, they do. They don't have the drive to do anything because they don't have to. That's the reality of it. But how much respect, true respect, do they really get from people? That's the question. I personally don't think people respect me 100% if I just live a good life taking my parents' wealth, which I could. I didn't. I want to make something happen. So when people challenge me and they go, you're just lucky because you grew up rich. I go, no, you motherfucker. I created my own luck. I didn't decide to be lazy and sit around doing nothing and then brag about my wealth. I didn't do that. Everything that I have when I came to Australia, I built it from ground up. I was a somebody back in LA. We're still somebody back in Taiwan, but I was a nobody when I came to Australia 10 years ago. Nobody. No one knew who the fuck I was. Fast forward into now, 2024 from 2014, I was a nobody. So if I can do it, everyone else can do it. So don't find an excuse saying that, oh, you know, it's too hard. It's the economy. It's the people that I don't come across that drag me down. It's up to you. I didn't have to work. I didn't, you know, I didn't have to find a way to sort of survive and make a name for myself in this new country that I've arrived back in 2014. But I chose to go down that path because I want to create a legacy. I want to be able to tell myself every day when I wake up, fuck John, you've done it. And you're doing it again and again and again. And that's what's making me happy.
Yeah, it's something we spoke a lot about 7 years ago when we were trying to come up for the name of the business.
Yeah.
We decided to call it Lee and Doos for a reason, to hand down to our kids and kids and kids and basically provide generational wealth. And if there's anything that I've learned from like the Eastern culture over the last 7 years, it's about generational wealth. It's about, you know, providing for not just you and your family, but for families to come.
Yeah.
When you think about your legacy, what do you want to be remembered by?
This is okay. That's quite deep, but I like the question. So everyone's different, but to me, because even though we're adults, I think ahead a lot of stuff. So sometimes when I talk, I have too many things I want to express, and then I have to slow myself down. So I am an adult, a 46-year-old. You can call it mid-age adult, but I still feel like I'm a kid at heart. I refer to superheroes all the time. So what hit me really hard was Spider-Man's uncle said to him, great power comes with greater responsibility. So I think what I want before I die, what I want to achieve in my lifetime is to make sure the world will be better if I can inspire people. People might think this is cliche, you know, he's just talking about it. No, trust me, if you know me in real life, I'm always genuinely willing to help people out.
Yeah, I can
genuinely, you know, feel happy if people succeed. But the problem is, most people have this negative mentality. They want to compete. They want to compare. They want to bring you down. They want to think, oh, because you can't do this, so I feel better not doing it. So what I want to accomplish in my lifetime is, if everyone can be kind, generous, I have this saying, be respectful, be grateful, and be supportive to others. If I can achieve that, at least among the friends around me, and everyone's doing the same, isn't it better that as a person, we can be a superhero of our choice? We can be Batman, Superman, whatever, with the superpower we have. But combined, we can be the Avengers. So I think that's what I want to achieve. You know, get a close group of people that are like-minded and that share the same mentality and give back to, you know, the world. Because the world is definitely a better place when we are all kind-hearted. But apparently, it's just not the way it is in this world now. Yeah.
Touching on Lee and Doos, I think one of the biggest assets that you've brought the business is your ability to sell. You're probably one of the best, if not the best salesman that I know. And that's in the form of selling property, but also just doing deals and closing deals. And I think, you know, you've taught me there's a big difference between doing a deal and actually closing a deal. Again, the results, all that matters.
Yeah.
If someone's wanting to get into sales, I think it's probably one of the best roles, especially if they've got no money, whether it's selling houses, selling cars, or just closing a deal and trying to gain some sort of value. What advice do you have to them in regards to sales?
Yeah, that's a good question, which we discussed about this, and I've told you multiple times as well. The key to close a deal, I don't consider any deals as selling product, selling service, because when you want to sell, let me break it down. What is sales? What does a salesperson do? They convince people to get a result. But most people get it wrong. When you're a sales agent, selling a property, when you're a car salesperson, your first priority is to make money. But that's where it goes wrong. Because if all you care about is making money, big money doesn't come that way. What I'm trying to say is, the reason why I'm good at what I do, I'm good at convincing people, is because I tell the truth. I really care. Because if you try to sell me a house and you sell a house to me that's not suitable for me, once I move in, I'll find out. It's just a matter of time. I would not have full trust in you. Then, to me, I would never vouch for you. So to you, you have to prospect the whole time. That's why in real estate game, people tell you to prospecting is the most important thing. You got to prospect. But this is all wrong. Again, I'm not trying to offend anybody. It's wrong because why do you need to prospect when you have people vouching for you, when you have people word of mouth recommending you? I never prospect, never do, never have to. People come to me asking me if I can help. That's the position where you should be at. Not because, okay, I scam this guys off, I rip this guys off, I do this, I do that, and then I want more money. It's all money. Money should be a byproduct of reputation, which we speak about this all the time. Having a good reputation is very hard. It takes years, if not your whole lifetime. To ruin it, you need 5 minutes or 10 minutes of wrong doing or wrong saying. You ruin it. So if you only focus on your reputation, which I do, that's my core value of the business. I never push people to do any sort of deal, because eventually, if you provide a service or a product that suits this particular person, he or she will definitely buy into it or comply or close the deal with you. If not, they might be forced, they might be tricked, they might eventually do a deal that they're not comfortable, and then it's gonna fall back. So I guess it's not as simple as answering your question of how I am the best at selling anything. It's more so the fundamental reason is because I focus on reputation more than money.
Yeah, and that's probably something that a lot of people overlook. And
They don't care about reputation nowadays. People don't care. People goes, well, if I'll give you a perfect example. You walk into a house, you look at the open home. If an agent does contact you, regularly for maybe let's say a month, and then you ended up not buying, I guarantee you 99% of them, they give you a shit face. They give you an attitude. They don't even call you back. They don't even text you back because they go, you fucking time waster. You wasted my time. I don't do that. I instead think back, have I provided enough value for that person or family? Because maybe there's no transaction to be done today or next month, but maybe in 3 years' time, they'll come back. And that's where the reputation is. A lot of people, it's always the attention to detail that you need to make sure. We're all humans. Like I always say, we're humans. Whether you have a lot of money or not, we're humans. We need to be able to feel your genuine intention about, sure, we understand it's a business deal, but hey, again, there are a lot of agents. There are a lot of people that we can do business with. Why should I choose you? Why should I vouch for you? And that's my core value. Focus on the reputation more than money, and then money just comes.
Got a quote here from a German fashion designer called Philip Line. You might be familiar.
Yeah, very familiar.
His quote goes, "I don't believe in luck. Luck is for losers. And if you work hard, you don't need luck."
Yeah.
As someone that wears Philip Line every day, what does that mean to you when you hear that?
Okay, well, if we want to talk about fashion, there's a long story behind why I wear certain brands, but let's not get into that. Let's just focus on this quote. I honestly believe when people, because I get this quite often, I'm not gonna lie. People goes, you're lucky, you grew up from a wealthy family, you have a kickstart, you this, you that. No, I don't agree. I do not agree with any of that. Think about Elon Musk. He said it multiple times that he almost bankrupted SpaceX and Tesla. Even someone as rich as he was, or he's still rich, but I'm talking about
made
years
hundreds
ago.
of millions before.
Years ago, he still risked it all. So it comes back to, why do you want to think people are lucky? Instead, you need to focus on yourself. You make your own luck. If you want to mainly focus on luck, you go to casino, you flip a coin. That's luck. But in life, especially in business, you want to build a sustainable, long-lasting business, you need luck, yes. But you create that luck. I'll give you a perfect example. Remember what we did in Canangrat project?
Yeah.
Council took forever to get back. That's just council doing council things. Sure, you can go, oh, you're lucky, you got approved. Or if you actually come behind the scene, you know how stressful we were working with town planners, architects, bushfire experts, making sure we get the DA approved, right? So where did that luck come from? We actually physically, you and I, as the owner of the company, we went to Bow Desert Council. We went to spend time to explain to them our vision rather than relying on our staff, which are professionals, to explain what our visions were. So if we did not do that, we are just one of the many companies, developers, trying to get development approval. But instead, we took it personal. We went there, we met them, we made them like us. So we shortened the time of the approval. How's that lucky? We created the luck by being genuine, by being professional ourselves, by showing the respect, going to the council's office, talking to them face to face, looking into their eyes, telling them that we're not blood-sucking, money-making developers. We want to make sure we build something here and it's going to benefit the town, it's going to benefit the future people.
Yeah.
And they fully believed it.
We created our own luck through working hard.
Exactly. You create your own luck.
Touching back on Philipp Plein, again, why do you choose to wear Philipp Plein specifically every day?
Okay, that coming back to the fashion sense out of that, since I was young, I don't know. I think I've always been a rebel. I don't like to do what most people do, and again, no offense to most people, but I like to be different, and I've always been different. As in, if I see people wear certain ways, I just think it's boring. I'll give you a perfect example. I see Gucci t-shirt, white t-shirt with a big Gucci logo. It looks great. It's great design. But once you see that everywhere you go, it becomes like a uniform. So
there's no Philipp Plein store in Australia.
There aren't any Philipp Plein stores in Australia at all. So firstly, no one knows about it. Secondly, it's the soul behind the brand that makes me feel like it is a brand that I like. So the design is very different. It's not conventional. It's got a lot of studs, spikes. It's got most of the t-shirts, including Louis Vuitton, Prada, Miu Miu, Fendi, Dior. They always, if it's a t-shirt, it's just the front print. They don't focus on the back. Philipp Plein focus on the front and a little touch of the back, with their emblem put in on the back of your t-shirt. It's just that attention to detail. And most people don't get how that little things makes the biggest difference. So when I go to a meeting, when I come across new friends, it created...
It's a talking piece.
Yeah. Like, oh, where'd you get this from? Especially here in Australia, most people don't understand the brand. And that's the main reason I like the brand, because it's just very different. It's got the design that most designers lack of. Not that they don't know, maybe they don't care. Maybe because they're trying to come up with designs that would satisfy the general public. But Philipp Plein is always satisfying the very niche people. And because of that reason, attracted more people to buy their brands. It's a genius. They attracted so who wears Philipp Plein? Madonna, Snoop Dogg, 50 Cent, you name it, all the top celebrities. Floyd Mayweather, a lot of top celebrities wear their brands. So by creating something so different that celebrities, influencers would want to wear, that created a chain effect. So it's super huge in the States. It's big in Europe. It's big in Asia now. It's just a pity it's not big yet in Australia. But we'll see. They might come one day. Yeah.
Between Christian Louboutin and Philipp Plein, how many pairs of shoes do you have?
That's a bit personal. I do have a lot of. I love shoes. I love sneakers. I do have a lot of shoes from both brands. Not going to answer that question. I do have a lot.
Well, I think that's a good starting point for the next thing. I want to talk about having fun while working.
Yeah.
I heard a good quote, and it goes on about it's very hard to compete against other companies that are always having fun while they work.
Yeah.
I think that's something that we hold true in our business. I
Yes.
think, like we touched on, the results, all that matters.
Yeah.
And we like to have fun. We like to live life whilst we work and get the result.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
I can give a lot of references on how other successful businesses build based off on having fun while working hard. The first one, which most people would know, I'll use that for a starter, is Google. Everyone knows Google company. They have like a playground. They have endless drinks, snacks for employees. They even have like massage chair or, YouTube it. You'll see a lot of fun stuff in the office. In my opinion, coming back to the human factor of this whole business sort of matters. As a human, I don't believe we are focused for hours. Even athletes, even if you go to the gym and train, you can't train 24 hours. You need a rest. You need to recharge. So a lot of companies, they require their employees to go to work from 9 to 5, long hours. But let's be honest. Why did Elon Musk fire more than 50% of the employees when he took over Twitter? Because he knew that none of them are actually working. So to me, I think having fun is important because once coming back again, why do we work? To make money? Why do we make money? To buy things or to spend on something that we appreciate? No, it's actually buying time. You make money to go on vacation, to buy things to enjoy. So it's the time that you're actually seeking for that you can enjoy to make yourself feel good. So if you're so stressful about making money, finally you made the money. I have this argument's sake of saying, work hard your whole life until you're 60, you buy a Ferrari. Sure, you ended up driving a Ferrari, but is it really cool driving a Ferrari at 60? No offense. Or is it more cool while you're working hard, you get to drive a Ferrari and enjoy that process while working hard? So to me, working hard and having fun is very crucial to have the best mental health. And not gonna lie, people can judge and people can say whatever they think, but I'm 46. And people goes, you're lucky you have Asian genes. I go, no, you get it all wrong. I simply have good genes because I even look young among Asians. And that's a fact.
Yeah, I think a lot of people get it wrong. They try to build a business to sell and exit.
Yeah.
But the reality is, what are you going to do then?
Exactly.
Start a new business?
Yeah.
Go live in holiday?
Go through the troubles, go through the obstacles again. Yeah.
Yeah, the goal should be to try and build something that's amazing, that's solving a purpose, that's making lots of money, where you can also have that amazing lifestyle.
Yeah.
Something that connected us the first time we met was you were wearing an Adama Piguet Royal Oak Offshore.
Yeah.
And it was the first time in person I'd ever seen the AP.
It's a limited edition one. It's a forged carbon one.
Beautiful watch. And I remember seeing it and I think it was one of the first questions I said, is that an AP? And you're like, yeah. I was like, oh yeah, chill.
To be more specific, when you said it, I feel like, motherfucker, do you not know? Like, are you challenging me?
I had only seen it on TV, so seeing it in person was definitely like a wow. But it definitely connected us. And, over the last 7 years, I think between watches and cars, it's something that we both love. And it's held us together. I think we're probably the only company in Australia where two owners of their sole company both have Lamborghinis.
Yeah.
And I think Lamborghini's a brand, Adama Piguet is a brand that we look to and inspires us to build Liandouce to be that kind of luxury, bold, big, disruptive company.
Yeah.
Is there elements in those two companies that you like that you also see in Liandouce?
Yeah. So coming back to Lamborghini itself, everyone knows the story of Lamborghini. The reason why the company existed was because Ferrari turned down a collaboration between Lamborghini and Ferrari. That's why Lamborghini said, fuck that, I'll create my own. I think down to the core value of that sort of the founder's mentality, it's very similar to Liandouce. When people go, oh, you're starting now a company. You should do a small development. You should buy a block of land, do a subdivision, and get duplexes or duplex on it, and slowly grow your developments. Oh, you're starting out a company. You should have a shit little office. You should this, you should that, which is true. Most of the companies are built by step of how other people have done it. They repeat the process. They go through what I called within the matrix success, which is nothing wrong, but we like to think outside the box. That's why these two brands, they're very bold. They're in your face. They make a statement. They're like, we're different. We don't want to do what most people do. We want to do what we do. That's why when people come to Lee and Du's office, they go, oh, wow, your office is amazing. We don't do this to show off. A lot of people get this all wrong. Confidence is never arrogance. If you think someone's arrogant for whatever reason, then you're not actually doing self-reflect. Because when I meet someone who's better than me, I'm pumped. I'm excited. I go, wow, there are someone out there doing something that I don't know and I haven't achieved. So I look up to that and I try to do self-reflect. How can I become like that? Most people, when they see someone so-called flashy, so-called, under the spotlight, they judge, they want to talk shit. But the problem is, these are the people, they never do self-reflect and never improve themselves. So year after year, they're still the same person. So those two brands coming back again, I think they're very in line with what Lee and Du's is about. We're very different. We get asked all the time, oh, so what does Lee and Du's Realty Group do? Do you guys sell properties? Do you guys manage properties? Do you guys develop them? Like, we do everything.
Yeah.
We basically provide a service that can make money the easiest way possible, the safest way possible, and at the same time, having fun with all of our clients. Because ultimately, life is about having fun. Otherwise, why would you work? Because you want to make money to have fun. So if you do something, you can have fun at the same time. That is the ultimate goal of working and having fun at the same time. And Lee and Du's, I think, our company, we build a culture within the company. That's what we do. Yeah.
Where do you see Lee and Du's 10 years from now?
Well, that's sort of a company secret and company sort of plans that we've been doing for many years now in the works. I don't like to talk about things like that because I find it very interesting. I used to tell people what our plans are. And this could go back to a lot of things. I told people I've ordered the STO a year and a month ago. 3 months down the track, people go, oh, did you really order a car? 6 months, oh, John didn't order a car. 9 months, oh, he's bullshitting. And then when I receive the car, then people, oh, damn it, bro, I knew it. I knew the car is coming. Dude, now you know? Coming back to Canangra, we bought that land. Every fucking big developers, builders, they go, oh, why you guys chose Canangra? It's fucking no population. You're never gonna succeed. You're gonna waste money. Couple of years later, we sold a section of it for $11.056 million. They go, fuck John, fuck Josh. I knew you guys are the bomb. I knew you guys can do this. Fuck that shit. Because you have no vision. That's the problem. I'm not bragging. I'm not saying we're better than people. This comes back to the confidence, knowing what we're doing. It's not the arrogance. So
sometimes we say things and people can doubt.
They cannot envision. They can't see what's coming. They're so narrow-minded, which is why I stopped talking about what we do. So coming back to your question, I'd rather not tell people because I even feel when I tell close people, they don't get it. So why should I tell the world what I'm gonna do when the close friends don't even get it? It's something that you just have to figure out. It's something that you just have to come along the journey and see when it happens. Yeah.
See the podcast in 10 years from then. We can talk about it then.
And then we'll come back to the podcast and be like, hey, did I tell you that? Oh, okay, I did.
Yeah. Flipping the coin here a bit, let's talk about politics. Mm-hmm. You've mentioned your history. You were born in Taiwan.
Yeah.
You were raised in America.
Yeah.
And now you live here in Australia.
Yeah.
Obviously, in the media, there's been a lot of talk about Taiwan, China,
Yeah.
the US. What's your understanding and opinion on the whole situation?
Well, a lot of people think China will take over Taiwan. Taiwan is in a very, in a great danger and stuff like that. And America, as we know, who's the president now, so I'm not going to comment on that. Actually, I'm not going to comment on the whole politics thing because, I have my take on it. If you know me personally, we can have a heated conversation, but because this is a podcast, so I'm not going to share my view. Yeah, I'll keep it private. But next time when you see me, come have a chat. And I'll guarantee you, I'll convince you.
You recently, well, probably a year ago now, had a baby daughter, young little
two and a
Ava,
half now. Yeah.
and you've got a beautiful son, Zaki.
Yeah.
What's it like being a father and running a business and doing everything that you do?
Yeah. Funny you ask that. I get people say to me all the time, do you actually work? I get that questions, I don't know, from people here and there. People just think, how am I going to have time to manage the family, kids, business while having fun? I think it all comes down to time management. A lot of times people see others on the surface level. They're having fun, they're doing this, doing that, but people don't understand. In order to have a good life, whether that's business, that's health, or mentally, you really have to have a good time management. I spend a lot of time with my kids now. I didn't. That's another story I can share. I didn't when Zach was born, so I feel kind of bad that I didn't spend much time with him growing up. But ever since my daughter Ava was born, I spent a lot of time with her because, again, we only live once, and kids will only stay as kids once. Once they turn adult, you miss out all the fun with them. They move out. They want to do something that you might not be happy about, and they go on their journey of life. So I do spend a lot of time with them. But coming back to how important the time management is, it's all about the result. So sometimes people take weeks, months to get something done, when the reality of it is, you should ask yourself, did you establish the right team to do the job? Are you in the right mindset to make that decision? I think one of the good thing about me is I make very, very good quick decisions. And this, I say in public. I go to Bulgari, I go to Tiffany, I go to Philip Plein stores overseas or online on the Plein.com or Christian Louboutin. I never spend time to shop around. I never do window shopping. Audubon Piguet, I never do window shopping. I make quick decisions. If I like something, I know what I want, I buy it straight away. That applies to business. If I know something will work, I put 110% effort into making that work. I don't go, let me give it a try. I just don't. Because no matter what, sometimes people will tell you, if you don't try, you wouldn't know. And if you fail, you improve. I disagree. Before you make the attempt to try something, you should do a calculated risk assessment, knowing that the chance of succeeding is quite high. Then you stick to it. It's like, I know what I like in the shoe design. I never actually go to the store and actually try out before I buy them. I look at the photo and then I just buy them. So I'm taking a chance of whether that particular pair will look good on me or not. But as time goes on, I get pretty good at it. So business the same. If I make a decision, I know what's gonna work. Maybe I'll miss out some opportunities if I don't take, the other risks. But at least it's proven to me that my decisions has been correct for all these years. And that's the time management that I'm talking about. If I have to do so many things and they're going to take up too much of my time, I don't think I can have time to spend with my daughter, business, and having fun at the same time, racing cars, like all this fun stuff. Yeah. So that's how I manage my time. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. You mentioned it earlier about Zombieplane. It's a movie that you've invested, acted, and executive produced.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a bit more about that?
Yep. Okay. It's good that you asked that question, which is promoting the movie a little bit, which I like.
Yeah, they better sponsor the podcast.
This comes back to we were talking about the luck kind of thing. I created my luck by having that chance to invest in this movie called Zombie Plane, starring Chuck Norris, Vanilla Ice, Sophie Monk, among other talented actors. The reason I got involved was because of a good friend of mine, Mark. He was investing in it. He mentioned it to me. So I got involved pretty late in the production. But I was very happy that he gave me this opportunity to jump on board with him. So why I say that I created my own luck. If I wasn't being a genuine friend to Mark, if we haven't been friends for so long, I wouldn't even have the opportunity. So how can that be a luck kind of thing? I created my own luck by networking with like-minded, genuine people over the years without wanting anything in return. And guess what? What goes around comes around. So good things happen to people who look after each other. That comes back to what I say all the time: respect, appreciate, and support. So yeah, I'm very excited for that movie to come out. It will have my name as an executive producer in the movie. And yes, I will be in the movie, not as an actor, but more like a cameo. You'll see me.
Yeah. Like the guy, is it Stan Lee?
Yeah,
From the Marvel series?
He's always like walking there, like to a cafe or something like that. Yeah, I think that's one of the things that I enjoy having. How should I put it more precisely? Let me rephrase. I think investing in this movie makes me want to invest more into future movies if this movie does well, because movie is a project which will last for decades, if not centuries. So we were talking about leaving a legacy. I think if the movie does well, it's like Stan Lee, perfect example. Now he passed away. One of the greatest legends in comic history, but his movies will be seen for our kids, generations to come, and people will remember he created those amazing superheroes for us, like Dragon Ball. I'm not sure if you are aware, the creator of Dragon Ball passed away as well, but people will always remember Dragon Ball. So to me, the movie is very exciting that I can't wait for it to come out. It'll be out this year. Yeah. Speaking of that, a lot of people have been asking me when the movie will be out. So let me say it once for all again. The movie will be out worldwide in theaters, not just online digital platform. It'll be in theaters. So please go support, enjoy, buy some popcorns and and drinks and enjoy the movie. Yeah. And people that know me personally, I would book out a theater and just invite friends to come enjoy that movie with me. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait to go see it.
Yeah, it'll be fun. Yeah.
To finish on, I think I mentioned this podcast is for people that want to obtain financial independence, that, might be 20 years old, sort of not sure what to do with their life, but wants to obtain financial independence. For that person listening, what advice do you have?
Okay, I'm not going to lie. I get hit up on my Instagram DMs a lot. And I have spent a tremendous amount of personal times responding to various questions about what they should do in their lives. And you're right, they range from someone who's 14 to someone who's 54, 60. What I'm going to say, because it's actually a long answer to that question, but in a nutshell, I think if anyone focuses on, forget about the business factor, take away how am I going to be successful? How do I run a business? Forget about that. Ask yourself, how do you make people feel happy, comfortable, and willing to help you in your career? If you can achieve that, you will run a good business, because everything comes down to who you are as a genuine person. So it comes back to what I said earlier. build the best reputation. You want to run online digital marketing company. You need clients, correct? So when you go approach a company and you tell them that you're the best marketing agencies out there, but you're competing with other agencies. So why should this company use you versus another company? But if they genuinely like you as a person, they are more than likely to give you a chance to try it out. And if you talk the walk instead of walk the talk, because you got to talk first to engage with them, to convince them, and then you walk it, and then you show them how good you are. Do you not think they will stick with you rather than trying to find another one who might charge less to give it another try? No. But you might not be the best in the game, and yet you got a business, long-term business already. That's why I always say, focus on your reputation, making sure people that you're dealing with like you. No millionaires, no billionaires, at least from my knowledge, will want to deal with assholes. They have money already. So don't come over there and telling them that you're going to make them rich. You're going to do this and do that for them. Most of the times, successful business people, they work with people they like. And you got to be good at what you do anyways. You can't be suck at it and you're good at sucking ass. And then you go, oh, why didn't he give me a chance? Because you're not good at what you do. Yeah.
Yeah, well, something you've always taught me is we're all human at the
Yeah,
end of the
we
day.
are.
And if you're doing business with someone, treat them as they're a human.
Yes.
And so touching on those emotions is a huge thing. Like if we're talking to an investor, the key is not to have the best project, the best investments with the best numbers.
No.
It's to form the best relationship with that person and show them that you know your shit.
Yes.
Well, on that point, bro, as business partner, as your best friend, thank you very much for coming on the podcast.
Thanks for the invite for the podcast. It was fun. Cool.